Hello fellow crafters, it's Terry. Thanks for stopping by today. Apologies for the lateness of the publishing of this Tonic Craft Kit 58 video. I received the kit later than expected and my health isn't great at the moment. So because Kit 59 has already launched, so obviously you guys will have had this kit for probably longer than me. So I've decided to do something slightly different this week. Obviously this kit is Terrific Treats, so it's Kit 58 if you're still going by the numbering system. One of the most interesting things I think about this kit is that it's giving us a preview and a few samples from the latest colour trend, and that is the Christmassy one, and it's gorgeous. It's all in black and gold. So the actual die set is all around how to construct this terrific treat box. So you will have already seen other members of the creative team, and if you've watched the official unboxing video you'll have seen how to construct that. There's lots of examples that have been shown, and you've probably already figured out how to do it yourselves. So what I thought would be most beneficial at this point is for me to do some sharing with you around other ways potentially to use some of the dies in the kit, because there's some beautiful verso dies here, and some gorgeous stamps. The papers, obviously we've got some gorgeous new ones. We've got this lovely foiled gold hearts, this gorgeous one with like black and like flecks of gold. It looks like it's got flecks of gold gilding flakes in it. This beautiful pearlescent white one, and I think this is a new black one because it's got like a sparkle to it. I could be wrong. And some other black and gold and cream cards as well. So it's a lovely sort of palette to work with. And then all of the excellent Nuvo products that we've got. So we've got a complete 6x6 double-sided patterned paper pad. This new addition to Tonic's Nuvo range, which is the double-ended metallic markers, so they'll be fun to play with. So I want to give you some ideas of things to do with that. I also want to give you some ideas of things to do with the papers. This is new, this mica mist in pearled ivory, so I'll do something with that. This is definitely new too, the golden egg embossing powder, so I want to use that. And then this I don't think is the new one, it's ivory buff. The new Nuvo vintage drops are a goldy colour, and I definitely want to get my hands on them. We've got some lovely Craft Perfect ribbon. And again, I'm not sure if these are new. I know there's an opalescent circles of confetti, which I'm definitely buying for myself because I'm in love with them, and the Nuvo drops, and some of the papers. So a bit of a different video today because I'm just not going to bother making the box like I usually do when it's a 3D make kit, but I just wanted to try and make the best use of the time and give you just some extra inspiration around ways to use the contents of the kit, but in ways that they were not necessarily intended to be used, or you know, out of the box, outside of the beautiful treat box ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some cards, and as I'm going along through my process, if there's anything that I think, okay, this would be really handy for you to know, or it's a bit more advanced, then I'll pop back on. I'll film that, I'll explain it, might do some speeding up of bits and whatnot. But if it's all fairly straightforward, then I'm just going to come back and show you my projects and explain how I've made them. So I'll see you back either way in a mo. Okay my friends, so today we're going to be making 3 cards. So I've planned them all out and I'm going to show you how I've been inspired to create them and what they're going to look like, and then also partial tutorials. So I won't show you really easy things like sticking a piece of paper down, but I'll show you everything that I think needs to go in terms of it being tutorials. So I was looking at the panels included in the die set, which is obviously designed to create this treat box. But when I looked at this and that and that, I thought, well, if you chop those bits off, then that's like half a Christmas tree. So that's what I'm going to use these panels for. So I've cut down 2 pieces of the lovely gold high gloss mirror card, and I've chosen this. There's also that lovely patterned one as well, but I've chosen this one. So I'm going to place these together and keep them taped together, run them both through the machine, and then ensuring that these dies remain taped together, I'm going to do the same with this, and that is to try and ensure that we've got the same amount of border. And then I'm going to make a card that opens at the front. So these parts, when you look at the card, you'll see the Christmas tree, and then you open it up and then inside is your personal message. So I'm just going to do this running through the die cutting machine, and then I'll show you how I'm going to create the card blank, and then we'll take it from there. So see you back in a mo. So as I said, this panel reminds me of half a Christmas tree, and in order to make a full Christmas tree, we need to have a mirror image. So what I found was that I first cut the one side, so it's a lovely bright shiny gold, and then when in order to create a mirror image, you need to turn the card over, and I was using a machine just that was closest to me, where the plate was quite marked, the cutting plate. So I put a piece of paper over the top, but it actually left the other side with indentations, so sort of patterns, indentations from all of the cuts, which I actually really love the effect of, because it sort of gives like more texture to the high gloss mirror card. So I really like the look of that. So that was completely fine for me. However, if you wanted to avoid that and you wanted the high gloss mirror effect, you would just have to make sure that when you did the reverse, you were using a brand new cutting plate, to ensure that the high gloss mirror finish did stay like that. But I mean, I hope you can see what I mean. I think it looks really nice, especially against the background which I've chosen to make the actual card for it. So that is a really gorgeous size, and actually the way the bottom is, that is to me looks like the traditional Christmas trees, or the traditional faux ones that are very popular in the UK, that I remember having in my home as a child, and covered with brightly coloured tinsel. Usually there's 3 or 4 of these little feet, and the top obviously doesn't go into a point there, but I actually quite like the way that looks, but it definitely needs a star on there anyway, so I'll figure that out as we go along. But in order to create the card panel, I used this gorgeous new cardstock from the new colour trend, and which is really great for a card base because it's white on the inside. Obviously, if you chose a card that, like the pearlescent card was another one that I was thinking of, but then you could just stick a white card panel, a piece of paper inside, but that looks really lovely. And actually the way I've done the creases, the folds, it actually lies quite flat. So usually doing a card like this I would create a belly band, but I don't think it's going to need it. But equally you could use some of this beautiful ribbon provided just to tie around, but this actually works really well. So if you want to create this card, which is 4.5 by 6 inches, you need to cut a 9-inch long piece of card by 6 inches tall, and then you score at 2.25. So in your scoreboard, 2.25, and then flip it round, 2.25 again, and then that is 4.5. So it then meets perfectly. So I'm going to keep this fairly clean and simple. I think because the colours are so opulent, I'm going to keep it quite clean and simple, but I am going to add some of the Nuvo drops and some sequins, and I'm going to create a star because no Christmas tree is complete without a star. And then I'm also going to create a sentiment strip using this nice Merry Christmas, which will be perfect to go across the center. So I shall see you back in a moment with the finished card for that. Also, my third card is I am using mica mist, the mica mist provided in the kit, which again is the new colour Pearled Ivory. So I have sprayed that a piece of 4.25 by 5.5 inch black 300 GSM Craft Perfect liberally with the mica mist, and that is currently drying in my splatter box. So I shall see you back in a moment once I have glued these bits down and decorated it. See you in a mo. Okay, so here we go, the completed card. I really like this golden egg embossing powder. It's got the classic bright shiny gold that we would come to expect from Tonic and from decent quality embossing powders, but it's just got these like little bits of black and white in it as well. It's just really unusual. It's a really nice addition to your collection, and I'm really pleased with how the elements sort of came together. Really quite an easy card to make, really, but I would say that's a lovely mantle pleaser, and also really great for a mail card. Often people struggle with ideas for men's cards, but I think with the sort of like distressed looking gold and the colours, I think that would work great for anybody. So that's my first make. My next project, so this is what it looks like if you spray the mica spray onto the 300 GSM black cardstock and then leave it, so it's got a nice shimmer to it. It's not really in your face, but it's got a lovely shimmer, and you could obviously build that up. I mean, you could use, I could see how it would be really nice to use some different coloured shimmer powders, shimmer sprays as well, because this one is Pearled Ivory, so like a whitish colour, but I think it'd be really nice to put a gold on there as well, to really sort of build up the layers of texture. That would look really nice, and also to put some of the embossing powder on there. But what I thought I would do with this panel is make use of these little strip elements here. So whereas with this card I use this large leafy sort of pattern, for this one I'm using this one. And because it's not particularly long, you can only really use it in the corners. But what I'm planning on doing is creating a so I'm going to trim it across here, the panel, and then I'm going to create layers or lines of different interest. So I'm going to use some red line tape and add some of our gold colour gilding flakes, and then I thought I would do some interest with the new dot markers. So I'm just going to sort of let my creativity flow with that one. And then so I'm going to cut it in half and then have the decorative part built up, and I'm going to use the same sentiment again because there's just the one sentiment, and I do like to use what's in the kit really, rather than using other sentiments from my stash. And obviously you can do whatever you want, but it's just that's just the way I like to do it, to give you maximum inspiration from the kit. So I'm going to do some die cutting and pattern making, etc., and then I'll come back to you in a mo with the finished article. Okay, so for the third card, as I said, I sliced the top, and then I trimmed off a little sliver just so that there would be a bit of a gap there. And then I ran that strip of that thin metal die through the top left and bottom right corners, and I stuck this panel directly to the gold mat that I had created. So this panel, the black panel, I had originally trimmed to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then the gold mat is in between that size and 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So then I created this gorgeous strip using the double-sided adhesive and the gorgeous gilding flakes, and I just think that is so striking. It's a lovely colour gold. I mean, it's amazing, I think, and like this card really showcases it, like how many like different types of one colour there are. I mean, I've created 2 rows of 3 dot patterns. Obviously that's gold, this is a different gold, that's a different gold, and the sequins are a different gold, but it all sort of works really well together. I decided to raise this portion up onto foam pads, as well as the Merry Christmas, so it's nice and dimensional. And yeah, so the third card is going to be one of my old favourites that I bring out every now and again in order to showcase the gorgeous cardstock and also the new papers in the new colour trend. So if you're a regular to my channel, you'll have seen me do this several times, which is where I create a panel which will then be stuck onto a card blank, and I basically chop up a load of strips of like varying widths of card and sort of get them going along like that. So you can either do it like that, or you can do it the way I like to do it, which is say go across, say from there to there, and then change direction, and then change direction again, and then change direction. So I quite like doing that, and in that I'm also going to include some more strips of the gilding flakes. So for that one, I just so that you can see how to do it, I'll actually just include that bit of footage. So we'll do that next, and then come back and we can look at all 3 cards together and see which one's your favourite. So see you back in a mo. Okay, so on to the third card. So as you can see, I've cut out loads of strips of different patterned paper and cardstock. I also might use some washi as well. I don't think I'll be using the dots, but I'm not sure. I like to do things on the fly sometimes. But I'm going to start out by doing a bit of the gilding flakes technique for those of you who haven't seen it before. So I'm going to start in one corner. Now this technique's actually quite forgiving, so it doesn't matter if your lines are a bit wonky. So I've chosen to use some of the ivory cardstock, and now I'm just really burnishing the strips so it really gets in and sticks in to the papers, to the fibres of the paper. Now, isn't the back of that going to be all sticky, you might be asking? Well, yes, it is, which is why it's a good idea to pull out our old friend, the anti-static powder bag or powder tool. So if you just tap a little bit of that onto there, if you haven't got one of these, if you don't do much heat embossing, you can use a bit of talcum powder. And that takes the stick off nicely, and we're good to go. Now it is so much fun playing with the gilding flakes, it really is. But you need to make sure you've got the windows closed. You need to not have on any air conditioning or a fan or anything like that. Preferably be in a room where the door is shut and people knock before they come in, because any gust of air, this stuff is so light, so light, so you know it's very easy, like, you know, to sneeze and for it to go everywhere. That's just the way that it is. So I'm using a stiff bristle brush. This is the way that I tend to use it. You can also use it with the bone fold. If you're not happy, if there's not enough on there, you want more on there, you just move it around, and you'll see that the big flakes are now turning into much smaller flakes. And we can just try and get as many of those as we can back into the pot. But literally, I know this is a tester pot, a sample pot, but that will last you a very long time. So that's what it looks like, guys. How pretty is that? I say it's not sticky on the back because we use the anti-static powder tool. So what I do in this situation, so I'm using this messy mat, craft mat, heat resistant and all that. I think this is one from Craft Stash. Obviously there's the new Tim Holtz one, which I have also bought, and you can also just do this straight onto your glass mat as well. But there we go. So it's not very messy really. So yeah, so I'm going to go along and add my strips of cardstock and paper and things like that, and then I'll probably add some more strips of that, and then I shall turn this into a card. So I'll see you back in a mo with all 3 completed projects. And here we go, the completed card. So I did use the technique where I used the strips and then changed direction several times, as you can see. So I originally started there, went down and then changed to this direction, then that direction, then that direction, then that direction, and then back again. I also, this was a spare from when I did the first card, and I don't like waste, and I thought how lovely would it be just to have a Christmas tree poking out from one side, because with these types of cards, you can very much just use that technique, and that card panel can hold its own. And I could have just added a sentiment across the centre of Merry Christmas, and then maybe a sub-sentiment as well, like from our house to yours or something like that. But you can also step it up. So this has been stepped up obviously by the addition of the gilding flakes strips, of which there are 3. There's one here as well, so 2 thin ones and a thick one. I stuck the gold Christmas tree outline onto the lovely black pearlescent card that's new with this trend. I'm absolutely loving this trend, and I must admit I've been slightly naughty because I ordered all of the Nuvo products for this new collection. So I've actually used, instead of the ivory buff that was included in the kit, I've used the this one, which is gold dust, and I think this bluish colour is going to, so you can see already it's sort of turning into a very dark navy, so it's very much going to be a sort of black, like a sort of stone drop effect really, but with the gold glitter. And then the golden shimmer Nuvo Dream Drops, which again, it looks white, but you can, I don't know how much you can tell on the camera, but in real life, like looking at it close up, you can see how much gold it's got in. So comparing it to the other sort of colours like fairy wings and stuff, it is definitely a gold. And again, you can't, with the vintage drop, and I thought, really, is that going to be that gold? It's called Gilded Gold, the vintage drop, and I thought, is it really? Shall I bother? But yeah, it definitely is a gold drop. It looks gorgeous, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's interesting to see what the drops look like on different colours as well, different coloured backgrounds. So again, I used the same Merry Christmas stamp. I'll bring in the other 2 cards now. So we've got that one, then we've got the second one I made, so these are both 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then we've got the first one that I made. So as you can see, they're all very, I'd say that's the most clean and simple. This I had intended to be a clean and simple card, but then just when I got started playing with it, I just wanted to add more and play more, and I think I've used all of the Nuvo. I was considering using some washi with this, which I haven't, because I just wanted to showcase the lovely papers. I mean, the papers in the kit are gorgeous. They're really nice, and they're not like particularly Christmassy. I mean, yeah, we've got stars and little triangles, but this, obviously I've put a Christmas tree there and the sentiment's Merry Christmas, but again, this would be a very versatile card to send. It's a very sort of all-rounder colour trend really. You can send it, cards made by it, to anyone of any age, and you know, like my particular favourites from this release are, I really like this cardstock. I really like the black, no, it's not that, but it looks like it, the new black pearlescent card with the sort of white glittery bits coming through. Hopefully that'll show up. And I love the drops, all of the Nuvo drops, and that's not always the case with me. I didn't order the black stone drops, but I might do. Oh no, I did, because I got the collection. So yeah, and this is again just some tips to use the new pens, the dual dot markers, but if you like patterns, if you're a person like me who likes patterns, you can just let your imagination run free and very much get into the flow and create your own patterns. As you can tell, I do love patterns. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. My future tutorials are going to be much more tutorial based, and spending less time talking about the contents of the kit. So I'll do like a brief overview, you know, the kit's designed to do blah blah, and then I'll do a couple of tutorials, because excitingly I am going to be getting the kits every month from kit 61. So I know this kit 58 has come before kit 59, but that's obviously because I worked on 59 for the magazine, so apologies for the lateness, but I didn't get it until late, and you know, I just wanted to give you some really good inspiration, which I hope I have achieved. So let me know please in the comments which is your favorite. Have you picked up any tips? Have you tried using gilding flakes? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you feel more confident in using them? What do you think of this colour trend? Yeah, any questions you like really. And also, now I'm over 500 subscribers, I am going to be asking some questions in the community tab very soon, around content and things that you enjoy and would like to see more of, and things that you'd like to see less of, and etc. So please do check out the community tab. I would really appreciate your input, because obviously, you know, this is all for you guys. Obviously I enjoy creating with it, but it's all for you, so I really want your input, so we can help to make this channel as good as it can be. So that's all from me today, and I will see and speak to you soon with some more crafty inspiration. I'll leave kit 59 video here for you in case you haven't seen that yet, and the playlist of all of my Tonic Craft Kit videos, which is going back probably about 18 months. So in case you're a new viewer, I have plenty of tutorials for you. So yeah, that's it from so yeah, that's it from me today, and I'll see you very soon. Take care everyone. Bye for now.